Hi, Gene Burnett from GeneBurnett.com. There's a lot of dialogue and conflict and arguments sometimes that go on between traditional martial arts and people who practice them, and more practical modern arts like MMA or various free-form fighting type stuff. And the argument usually goes, those forms and exercises that you do in traditional martial arts might be a nice kind of health yoga, but they're not useful when it comes to actual fighting. And the response might be, oh, well, that's because we're working on it doesn't look that way because we're working on our chi, or we're working on some magical or mystical energy that we can use in a real fight. Or some people say, well, these forms are just for attributes, and in order to actually fight, you have to fight, which is pretty much where I sit with it. Traditional martial arts like Kung Fu or Tai Chi or Bagua or Xingyi, if all you practice was the forms and the partner drills, I don't think that you would be ready for an actual real life fight. Fighting looks like fighting. It never looks like the techniques and the things that you see in the drills, at least not directly. It usually looks like people blocking and punching and going crazy with adrenaline and fear and excitement and all that stuff. Fighting usually looks like fighting. It doesn't look, formy and styly. So yeah, I practice Tai Chi mainly for daily life. I'm not trying to make those particular movements combat ready. But I do practice it for martial attributes, like footwork. When I started doing non-classical Kung Fu and a little bit more combative work, I found that the footwork was super easy for me because of all my work with footwork in Tai Chi. Also, you help smooth kinetic chains. While you're doing it, you're smoothing out the chain and the transfer of momentum in your body, and that helped me also. It helped me keep up with guys much younger than I was, and it helps me move in a way that doesn't have unnecessary waste of energy or tension. So it helps with the yin, or the relaxed side of more combative stuff. Just posture in general, it helps me deal with gravity in a more efficient, effective, and less injurious way. So that helps. It helps in everyday life, and it helps help me learn how to hit harder and how to work with pads and that kind of stuff. And I assume that in a real fight, all my posture work as a background attribute would help. I'd rather be in a fight having come out of good posture than bad posture. One way that I think that forms can really help you martially is that in a good form where you're really working on your alignment, especially when you're balancing on one leg and doing a lot of balancing type stuff, even if they're highly stylized kind of dramatic moves that you would never think would be useful in a fight, the balancing on one leg and the attention to alignment and posture while you work, I find it really helps me control my own center and my own center line, especially when I'm on one leg going slowly. So getting used to where my center is, both my center of balance and my center line, helps me control those things. And in a fighting situation or a slightly grapply situation, it makes it harder for someone else to control my balance and someone else to control my center of gravity and my center line, because I spend so much time controlling my own, so that when it's tipped off, I'm used to making an instant correction or a quicker correction. Now, there are people out there that are really, really good at taking the center and really, really good at taking your center line or taking your spine. But so I'm not saying it makes me invulnerable to some wrestler or MMA person or jiu-jitsu person who's really good at controlling that, but it makes it harder. It makes it harder for someone to control my center line or my spine or my center when I spend a decent amount of time controlling my own and getting to know how to correct it when I'm losing it. So an attribute or a side effect of form practice, aside from good posture, relaxed muscles, smooth kinetic chains, relaxation and flow and footwork and all that stuff, is that I'm controlling my spine. So when someone else tries to control it, I have an instant sort of warning system that lets me know that that's happening and hopefully helps me make corrections. So those are some of the benefits of doing forms. I think the mistake is to assume that doing forms and the attributes you get from doing forms equals martial ability, equals ability to defend yourself. It may happen that you can defend yourself based on what you learned in forms, but usually in order to do that you need to spar, you need to practice with more resistance, less compliance, and more unpredictability. So usually that is the case. So I think both sides have a point, but there are some really strong benefits, health and martial, from doing forms. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. You can subscribe to this channel if you like this kind of thing, or you can visit my website, geneburnett.com. I have a donation link under every video description that I put up. In every video description that I put up. Donations are not expected. They sure are nice, but no worries if you don't feel like it. It's just an option. Thanks for watching.